I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic book show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're taking a closer look at Thor issue number 23. What happens when two gods of thunder clash? Will anything be left standing? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? So, picking up from where the last issue left off, Jane Foster Thor was about to duke it out with Volstagg, the new crazed War Thor. Now, Jane in her adventures has ultimately proved herself to be a pretty capable goddess of thunder, but the War Thor is just hopping mad, bashing at everything in his path. It's made pretty clear that Volstagg the Voluminous isn't actually in control of his actions anymore, and it's the corrupted Ultimate Hammer that's doing all the heavy lifting here. It threatens to summon up a bloodstorm that is so huge and destructive it can be seen across the 10 realms. The only thing that keeps Jane from being absolutely swept away by this is that her Mjolnir, which we now know to be alive, takes charge and protects her. In fact, the whole hammers being alive thing gives Jane something of an idea. If she can separate Volstagg from his hammer, then he'll be at a major disadvantage. Of course, all that power has to go somewhere, and as such, Jane decides to pick up the Ultimate Hammer for herself, meaning, yep, that's right, we got dual hammer wielding Thor. Man, she picked all the best perks. This is shown to be way too much power for one person to control, but we do learn something interesting. Apparently, this Ultimate Mjolnir plays a lot like a parasite, feeding on a person's rage and negative feelings to fuel itself, and as Jane Foster has no rage at this moment, it can't quite take control of her. The fight ends up getting taken all the way to the Dark Elf realm, home of Malekith the Accursed, quite fitting as it was Malekith and his Dark Council that set Volstagg down this dark path to begin with. The War Thor manages to re-summon his hammer to himself and vows to destroy the entire Dark Elf realm as revenge for everything they did to the Dwarven Kingdom. And it's right around here Odinson shows up on his goat Tooth Gnasher to lend a hand. He's the one who actually informs Jane that the War Thor is none other than their friend Volstagg, and once she figures that out, she decides that she can't fight him anymore. Instead, she vows to take an alternate approach. She powers down and actually chooses to face the War Thor as a cancer patient, saying that the Volstagg she knew was her friend, a valiant man who would never hurt her. Jane's gamble ultimately pays off as Volstagg relinquishes the hammer long enough for Odinson to swoop on in yet again and deal with it. He literally banishes the hammer and it flies away to become a nuisance another day. And with that, the danger is past. Volstagg will still have a lot of healing to do, but his friends are more than willing to help him. Unfortunately, what none of our heroes could have foreseen is that Thor fighting Thor is actually part of a pretty big Vanir prophecy. One that could tip the scales and possibly bring about the end of everything. Malekith the Accursed is definitely hoping this is the case, and as the comic ends, he tries to cut a deal with the angels. So that was the Mighty Thor issue number 23, everybody, and overall I thought it was a really solid conclusion to a really solid story arc. I like this idea that they play with at the end, that rage is a sickness unto itself and not too different from the cancer that is currently racking Jane. They also tease the hell about Odinson picking up the hammer once again, only for him to kinda shoo it away knowing that this one is sort of evil. In fact, Odinson gets a lot of fun play in this issue, even getting to put to rest his relationship with Roz Solomon that I quite enjoyed. The stage is also now set for Thor number 700 and the beginning of the death of Jane Foster. Everything about this Thor run from Jason Aaron has been so epic, so operatic, so thematic, and I just love it to death. Overall, I'd give this one an 8.5 out of 10, and you know I can't wait for the next one. So that was the Mighty Thor, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, why not check out some of these other videos I have available on my channel. Then you can follow me on social media at Cape Joel, and if you're feeling in a generous mood, why not become a patron? Patrons get exclusive access to videos and content before anyone else, and they can do so for as little as $1 a month. So until next time, everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you so much for watching.